Andarki namaskaram. Today we are going to our new session, Nirman Learning Through the Tinkering in the program. ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ని మనకి సమర్పిస్తున్నవారు డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ స్కూల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్, గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్, సమగ్ర శిక్ష, ఎస్సీఆర్టీ, యూనిసెఫ్ మరియు కండక్టెడ్ బై ద విజ్ఞాన్ ఆశ్రమ్. మై colleague Vipul will take over the session now. So please listen. Over to Vipul.
Thank you, Raju. Standard. Just take a look on the what we are going to. What is the activity? So just prototype video for that, and steps for making that robotic car, and why motor driver and this content learning models is available with you. So if you can go on this side, then you can see there you can update your dashboard. There is a lot many learning models are there. So if you want some information regarding the upcoming events and upcoming competition or current ongoing competitions, then also you can able to get the details on this link. Yeah. So this is all about aim.gov. I'm not going to cover again because we have already known about this. So this is the age group for 7 to 18 years of children can participate in this event. So if you have any difficulty while submitting any application in 5 things, you can choose any of this for submitting your ideas or projects. So save the environment, you can do some environmental related projects, strengthen the infrastructure, revolution the agriculture, automate surroundings, and some transportation systems. These are the 5 things. On that only you can have to participate on this competition. So let's see this video. So this is what we are going to make in this today's session. So yes, I think video is visible to you. So I hope you have seen that video. On this video, what I have shown, I have taken one joystick model in my one hand. I'm controlling that car with the help of that joystick. I'm just moving that car forward and left and right. So to complete that activity, what the materials that we required is the chassis, 2 pieces. On the left side, you can see my cursor. These are the chassis pieces, 2 wheels, 4 wheels we need. This is velocimetric code wheel, 4 pieces, and BO DC motor. BO stands for battery operated. And this velocimetric code wheels are also available with this kit, DIY car kit. It comes with that kit. The application for this code wheel is to measure the distance basically. So we'll not going to use this in our today's session. So we can exclude this part, but it's used for to measuring the distance traveled by that your car. So it's just for the encoding. That's it. So what else we need? Some mechanical tools that we need. M30 multiply by 30, M330 screw, 8 pieces. So these are the M30. M stands for the diameter of this screw. That is a 3 mm diameter of this screw, and 30 is the length of the screw. So M3 stands for diameter and 30 stands for length. So we need 8 of this. Similarly, we need battery holder, fasteners. This is the fasteners, 8 pieces. Fasteners is used to hold the object tightly. That is called as a fastener. Fastener is also what similar as a tightening. M3 8 screw. So M3 8 screw is this thing. M3 stands for again diameter, and 8 mm is the height of this screw. L30 spacers. These are the spacers. L330 means it is 30 mm height. And this is the hex nut, M3 size hex nut. These are the things that is come along with the kit, and every lab is having this kind of car kit is available with you. So next thing, what are the electronics material is required? Arduino Uno, motor driver shield, motor driver module, joystick module, jumper wires, soldering gun and soldering metal, strippers, and Leon battery, 3.7 volt. We need 2 pieces of Leon batteries. So overall 7.4 volt will be generated. So before starting to the activity, we have to solder these motors. So make sure while soldering this wires to this motor, just ensure that these motors are running properly. Just take your transistor battery, that blue color battery, connect positive negative to the this motor, and just test whether it's operating or not. If it's operating, then connect these wires so that you can avoid the potential mistakes that will come in future. So if suppose if one of the motor is not working properly and you have created all the project, and afterwards you find out that motor is not working, at that time it will be very hectic for you to remove that and again do the soldering, and rework will be there. So to save the time and make the proper project, just ensure that this motor is working or not, and once it's working, then just connect solder these wires. And while soldering this wire, just make sure the symmetry is maintained. So if you keep the motor in this front facing like this, just connect the right side with the red, and for all this. So don't connect like you connect a red here, afterwards connect red on the top side of this motor. Then make the symmetry so that it will be easy for you. So what will happen otherwise, if you start your car, then a few wheels, 2 wheels will move forward and 2 wheels will move backward if you didn't connect these wires properly. And while soldering, make sure that this is the plastic connection is there, right? Holding connection is there. It should not get damaged. It is very highly chances to while you're doing soldering, this will get melted. So let's see how I'm soldering this motor. So these are 2 leads. So while I'm soldering, what I'm doing, I'm taking metal. I'm not touching with this white color plastic. I'm just melting down some metal on the strips of that motor. I'm just melting down the metal, putting a very small amount of metal on that strips. And now what I'm doing, now metal is got dry. So I have to make it melted again. So I'm just melting the metal and I'm just pushing the wire inside it. That's all. And just wait that it will get dry. So again, I'm just melting down that dried metal and I'm just pushing wire inside it. That's all. And once it's completely dry, just try to pull the wire and test whether it's connected properly. Just try to pull. Okay. Okay. So let's move. This is about the soldering of this DC motor. Next part is the attachment of motors. So take one plate of chassis, and this is called a fasteners. So to hold this motor completely tightly, we are using these fasteners. So, okay. So see in my video, I'm showing one plate. So this is the plate. And if I have to put my motor on the top side, then longer end of the fastener has to come from the bottom side like this. Is it visible? So it has to come from this side. And yeah, just you have to, there are 2 holes is provided. So 2 holes are provided over here nearby this screw. Here only you have to add some M3 size of screw. Okay. So it's not much difficult. So this is fastener and this is plate. These are some holes are there. Can you able to see these rectangular holes? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are made to connect these motors over here. So what you have to do, this is the broader end. You have to take this broader end from the bottom side of this plate. So you have to take from the bottom side of this plate. So this is fastener. Bottom side is broad. You have to take it from the beneath side of this plate and it will come outside. And then you have to put some screws to hold this DC motor. And make sure all this motors are fixed tightly. Use two fasteners. So I have marked this one. On one motor, there is red color marking. So I have connected two fasteners. So I have taken one M3 30 size screw and I am putting from this end. And it will come from this outside end. And you have to put hex nut on the another end. And make sure hold this hex nut and take the screwdriver and try to rotate it from this screw side so that it will completely tighten. Don't try to tighten the hex nut. Just hold the hex nut and take the screwdriver and put it from this end and tighten it completely. Once all the motors are completely tightened, make sure that is not movable. It's not waving. So next thing, just connect all the wheels afterwards. And again, make sure that the wheels and motors are steadily fixed. Wheel should not move here and there. And once all the wheels and wires are connected, just flip your motor. And whatever the fastener broad side is there, it's visible on this end. And here you have to keep your components. And all the motors will go on the beneath side of this, bottom side of the plate. Motors will be on the bottom side. And in this portion, we are going to keep our electronics part. And again, another end of chassis, we're going to cover it. Take motors wires. So whatever the wires are there, these are the left side and these are the right side of the wheels. So take these 4 wires from the one end and these two wheels 4 wire from another end. And for be sure, you can mark it on your chassis, L and right, L and R. That indicates that these are the wheels from the left side and these are the wheels from the right side. Okay, so next see. So there are many electronics kind stuff is there. If you read at the ones, then it will be very difficult you to understand the entire code. There are many wirings and all this thing, electronic components and modules are there. So what we'll do, we'll just divide this overall project into the 3 different sections. So what we're going to do, we'll just cover the joystick part first. So what we're going to do, we'll just take one Arduino and one joystick and just interface this joystick and Arduino. We are not bothering about this remaining part. Afterwards, we'll keep joystick and Arduino aside. And next time we'll take this motor shield driver and our 4 motors. And we'll test this part. And once all this part is over, then we'll connect again joystick. So this is called as the integration. So we are dividing the activity like joystick, afterwards motor driver and their motors, and afterwards we are combining all the code together. So it will be easy for you to understand the code as well and the electronic connection part as well. So let's see, this is the 2-axis joystick. This is the 2-axis joystick. 2-axis means what? X-axis and Y-axis. So as you can see in this image, there are 5 pins: ground, 5 volt, VRX and VRY, and SV stands for switch. There is also one switch is provided. The joystick is similar to 2 potentiometers connected together. So basically in this joystick module, there are 2 potentiometers are there. Okay. One is on the X-axis and one is on the Y-axis. We have seen the rotary potentiometers, which we are going to rotate the potentiometer and the resistors is getting varied. So in this joystick, there are 2 kind of resistors. On two potentiometers are there. One is on the X-axis and one is on the Y-axis. If you, this have the linear potentiometer, not like the what angular potentiometer. We are rotating the knob, right? So in the joystick, we just have to left and right. You just have to rotate this knob left and right because this is a linear potentiometer. Vertical movement is there. Why two axis? Because it has two axes, X and Y. Connections. Now we'll going to do the Arduino connections. For that, what we need, VCC 5 volt. So left side is for the module connection. Whatever the names labels are there, it's on the left side, and whatever it's going to on the Arduino side, these are the connections. So VCC means 5 volt will go into 5 volt of the Arduino. Ground will go into directly ground. VRX pin is going to the A0 pin of Arduino, and VRY is a A1 pin of Arduino, and switch we are going to pin number 2, because in this car we are not going to use pin number 2. We can avoid the switch for now. So how we can, so I'm doing the connection as I have explained. So I have one Arduino and one joysticks. So I have given you one code in the description box. I'll just put all these codes. I will provide 3 codes to you in the description box. So one is for the joystick, one is for the testing the motors, and one is the complete code of the car. So as we can see, okay. So joystick testing. So I have provided you one code in the description box. So you just have to copy, you have to download this code. This is in the text file. And what is the name? Joystick testing. I have to copy this code. Control C, right click, copy. I have to open Arduino. I'm explaining for the joystick only, so you can apply for the same for the remaining part. So this is the new sketch. I'm deleting the previous void setup and while loop. Don't this step. So Control V. So code is get copied, and just now connect your Arduino to your system. So I have connected wire. So I'm connecting this wire. Once it get detected, what you have to do, you just have to click on the tools. You have to select Arduino. I'm using Arduino Uno, so Arduino Uno is selected, and COM port we have to select. And we have to upload the same code in the Arduino. I had did the connections and just save the code like a proper name, joystick testing, and save this code. And the code is getting uploaded. It is compiling this sketch. So what this code will do basically, it will just test this joystick model, whether it's working properly or not. If it's not working, then there is 2 chances, whether you did the wrong connection or you have faulty joystick or faulty Arduino. So to test this joystick, I have prepared this code. Now what you have to do, you just have to copy this code, paste in the Arduino IDE, and you just have to upload in the Arduino. And after the code is got uploaded, done uploading, you have to click on the serial monitor. Now nothing is displaying on the serial monitor. What I'm doing, just see the joystick. I'm just moving it forward. If I'm moving in the backward, it will show backward. Right, left, right, left, backward, forward, backward. You can able to visualize, you can able to see on the serial monitor how I'm rotating this knob. If I'm doing backward, it will show backward all the time. Right, then right, left, then left. If this is coming correctly, then your joystick part is over. Joystick is working properly and connection is proper. Now don't touch these connections. Now these are the correct connections. And what are the connections? These are the connections. VRX to A0, VRY to A1, ground to ground, and 5 volt to VCC. These are the connections for the joystick. Now let's move ahead. Motor driver. So before starting to the motor driver, why we are using this motor driver? That is one question that might be come in your mind. So motor driver. So Arduino, we are going to operate 4 DC motors. So our Arduino is having small current. It can deliver small amount of current. That current is not sufficient to drive 4 motors at a time. So for that, we are going to use this motor driver IC. So motor drivers basically serve link between motors and control circuits. Control circuit is nothing but our Arduino. Arduino will not going to drive DC motor alone. So to provide the external energy, we are going to use this motor driver IC. This motor driver IC will provide high current, whatever is required for that motors. Okay. So the function of motor driver is to convert low current control signal into high current signal. So again, just the basic thing, to give the high current, we are using the motor driver module. That is the thing that you have to understood for now. So again, the connection diagram. So as you can see, the motor driver on the right side, there are many pins. There are 4 in E1, I1, in 1, in 2, in 3, in 4. These are the input pins that will go into the Arduino connections. 5 volt, ground, and 12 volt. Here we have to give our batteries input. So whatever the Li-ion battery we are using, we have to connect this to 12 volt and ground. And 5 volt is coming. That 5 volt we have to give to the Arduino. And E and A and enable B, we nothing to, don't touch these pins. These are connections is already maintained. We just have to provide this 4 connection using Arduino, and out 1, out 2, out 3. That we are going to connect to our DC motors. So I will show you the circuit diagram. You can refer that. But just overall, this is also one of the way to see the connections. So motor driver on the left side. So whatever the left side you are able to see, these are the pin numbers available on the motor shield. And on the right side, these are the pins available on the Arduino side. Right. So 5 volt we are going to connect. So 5 volt of this module we are going to connect to the VIN pin of Arduino. Ground to ground, EN1 pin. So EN1 pin is there. That we are going to connect pin number 5 of Arduino. Similarly, EN2 for 6 and similar like this. And out 1, out 2, out 3, out 4 is going to the motor 1, 2, 3, 4 positive end of motors. And negative end of all the motors, that is 4 wires, we have to connect it together and we have to provide it to common ground. So this is one ground terminal. All the 4 wires, it has to come on this end. And again, 1 wire, ground wire, has to go to the Arduino. So total 5 wires will going to come on this ground pin. Okay, so once this connection is completed, what you have to do, I have provided you another code called motor testing. So once you have connected all the motors, positive, negative, all the connection is completed, then you have to run this code, motor testing. So what it will basically do, just see. But let's see the video first, then I'll explain you the code. So as you can see, I'm just testing these wheels. So all the wheels has to be rotated in the only one direction. So what you have to do, if your connection is completed, you have to make sure that all the wheels are rotating in only one direction. So currently it's moving in this right side, left side direction. All the motor has to be in the rotate hand, the left hand direction. And let's understand the code. What is this code? So I'm making it in large. Okay. So in this code, pin mode. So 4 pins I have defined as output. 5, 6, 8, 9 is the output pins. These are directly going to the motor shield. Where it is going? Is going to these pins. 5, 6, 8, 9 pins are going to the input pins of the motor driver IC. And motor is the output devices. That's why we have mentioned as the output. This is one syntax that we have to follow. Pin mode 5, on which pin number we are going to connect our motor is the 5, 6 and 8, 9. And motor is output device. That's why it's output. Setup part is over. And next is the loop part. So what we are doing, digital write, all the pins we are making high. 5, 6, 8, 9 we are making high. So what I'm mentioning here in the comments, all motors should run. So in this loop, all the motors are rotating in one direction. It has to rotate in the one direction. If suppose one of the motor is rotating in the opposite direction, what mistake is there? You have to change the polarity of that motor. You just have to do the soldering reverse direction. Whatever the red and black end, you have to flip of that one single motor. If in the case one motor is rotating in the opposite direction, and again it will run. All the motors will run for the 3 seconds, delay 3 seconds. After that, left side motors, that is 5, 6 will rotate, and 6 remaining right side motors will stop. Left side will rotate, right side will stop, and after 1 second, again right side will rotate, left side will stop. So for this code, you will understand that all the motors are working properly or not. Or is there any mistake? Then you will find out in this stage only. Okay. So let's see again. So observe this video. All the wheels are rotating in one direction. Afterwards, left side wheels are rotating. Then that wheels are stopped, and right side wheels are rotating further. Left side is moving. Now left side, all the wheels are rotating. Now right side wheels are rotating. Okay. Okay. So this is the overall connection diagram that we have to perform now. So as I told you, this is the circuit diagram. Take Arduino. This is the battery powered supply that will going to give the 7.4 volt. So make sure that you connect the battery in the correct direction. Whatever the spring connections are there, you have to connect the negative end of your cell, and positive will on the opposite side. You have to connect 2 cells. So overall voltage you will get the 7.4 volt. So requirement is for 12 volt, but 7.4 volt will be sufficient to drive all these motors. So I didn't connect the batteries in this diagram because make sure that all the connections is completed first. If the all verify the all connections with the help of your HR or teacher. If the connections are correct, then only connect your batteries. Otherwise, your Arduino will get damaged. And these are the Leon batteries are heavy batteries. If the connections are wrong, then it will generate some spark. So to avoid this mistake, just don't connect the battery. Just connect the battery holder. Verify the connections. Once the connection is completely correct, then only connect your battery. So let's start from the right side. Joystick module. Joystick module, we are going to use 4 pins of the joystick module. Switch pin we are not using. Just don't ignore that pin. We can use it for further application. For now, we are not using that pin. So ground pin, it has to connect to the ground pin of Arduino. A0 pin, it has to connect to the VRX pin of the joystick module. A1 pin has to connect to the VRY pin of the joystick module. And 5 volt to 5 volt. Okay, ignore the switch pin. I'm again saying. Again, now we'll come to this motor driver part. So as you can see, the 4 motors are there. 2 motors is from the left side, 2 motors are from the right side. 1 and 2 motors has to be from the left side. So we have to connect ground to the common ground. So these are the names that I have given: ground, 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 and here is ground. So total 5 ground pins will be there. So you have to make one wire. You have to attach all the 5 wires, and you have to connect the ground pin of this motor driver. So here is one screw connector will be there. Use this pin, connect the ground pin over here. All the 5 wires. It will fit. Okay. And out 1, out 2. And this will come to the out 1, out 2. This is one connector, and out 1, out 2 is one connector. Out 2, out 3 is this connector. Okay. And ground 12 volt, 5 volt is this connector. Okay. When you are connecting battery holder, positive end has to come to the 12 volt pin. So this will become on this one of the pin of this. The label is written on the bottom side of this. So it has to battery holder positive has to come on the 12-volt pin of this motor driver shield. Ground is to ground. 5-volt pin, 5-volt label pin, it has to come on the V-in pin of the Arduino. Okay, and out one, out two, left side of this motor. So out one, output, label has to be connected. Out one and out two, out two, out two, out three, and out four, output. Okay, so these are the basically connection diagram. And 9 pins are there. 5 number to in 1 pin of motor driver, in 2, in 3, in 4. So this is all the basically connection diagram of this. I hope this is clear. So I'll explain the connection diagram again. Joystick model, it has 5 pins. We are using 4 pins, A0, A1 for the Arduino. This is the Arduino side. 5, 6, 8, 9, A0, A1, ground 5-volt is the Arduino side, and VN is also supply for the Arduino. These are the simple connection. I'll explain this part again. Out 1, out 2 is the left side of the motors, has to connect to the out 1, out 2 pin of the motor driver. So out 1 connecting to the out 1. Out 2 will go into out 2. Out 3 will go into out 3. Out 4 will go into out 4. And all the ground has to combine together and has to be attached on this pin. Okay. This is all the overall connections. So let's see the video. So observe the joystick as well. So this is the overall thing. After the completion of this, all the circuit diagram, just attach your upper chassis to this. Just connect this spacer on the bottom side.
Yes. People go to the Codever event. Yeah. సో అందరికీ నమస్కారం. ఇవాళ మనం విపుల్ చెప్పినటువంటి జాయ్స్టిక్ కంట్రోల్ కార్ గురించి అందరూ కూడా మీరు బాగా నేర్చుకున్నారు. సో కోడెవర్ 2022 ఈవెంట్, ఇది ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఈవెంట్, అందరికీ కూడా తెలిసిందే. ఇప్పటికీ నాకు వచ్చినటువంటి ఎంట్రీస్ 4 to 5 స్కూల్స్ ఎంట్రీస్ కూడా పంపించినాయి. ఒక్క స్కూల్ నుంచి మినిమం ఆఫ్ 30 మెంబర్స్, కొన్ని స్కూల్స్ 62 మెంబర్స్ పంపించాయి. సో మా యొక్క సపోర్ట్ ని, సేవ్ ద ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్, స్ట్రెంగ్థింగ్ ద హెల్త్ అండ్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్, రెవల్యూషన్ ఇన్ ద అగ్రికల్చర్ అండ్ ఆటోమేట్ ద సరౌండింగ్స్, స్మార్ట్ ట్రాన్స్పోర్టేషన్ సిస్టమ్స్. ఆల్రెడీ మనకి ఏటీఎల్ ల్యాబ్ లో చాలా వరకు చాలా స్కూల్స్ కొన్ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేసి ఉన్నాయి దీని రిలేటెడ్ గానే. సో వీటిలో ఏదైనా, దట్ మీన్స్ న్యూగా ఎవరైనా ట్రై చేస్తాము అంటే ట్రై చేయొచ్చు. డెవలప్మెంట్ గోల్స్ మీద కూడా మనకి డిఫరెంట్ ప్రొవైడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. అవి సేవ్ ద ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ లో మనం వాటిని ప్లేస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. రిజిస్ట్రేషన్స్ క్లోజెస్ అప్ టు జనవరిలో సబ్మిషన్ చేయాలి. సో టైం ఇంకా ఉంది. సో సబ్మిషన్స్ ఫాస్ట్ గా, దట్ మీన్స్ మీరు తొందరగా ఎంట్రీస్ కంప్లీట్ చేసుకుంటే సో మనకి ప్రైజెస్ వస్తాయని చెప్పి ఆశిస్తున్నాము. గో టు ద ప్రోటోటైప్ ప్లీజ్. సో ఒకసారి అందరూ కూడా ప్రోటోటైప్ చూడండి వీడియోలో మనకి. సో అక్కడ జాయ్స్టిక్ ని ఎటువంటి డైరెక్షన్ లో కదిలిస్తే ఆ యొక్క కార్ అనేది ఏ విధంగా తిరుగుతుంది. దట్ మీన్స్ మనకి జాయ్స్టిక్ అనేది బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద ఎక్స్ అండ్ వై యాక్సిస్ డైరెక్షన్స్. సో మనం గ్రాఫ్ షీట్ కనుక తీసుకుంటే గ్రాఫ్ మనం ఎటువంటి డయాగ్రామ్స్ అయినా గీస్తాం. సో అదే విధంగా సేమ్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ ని బేస్ చేసుకుని జాయ్స్టిక్ అనేది పనిచేస్తుంది. దాంట్లో మనకి 2 పొటెన్షియోమీటర్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో ఒకటి మనం ఎక్స్ యాక్సిస్ డైరెక్షన్ లో మూవ్ అవడానికి, ఒకటి వై యాక్సిస్ డైరెక్షన్ లో మూవ్ అవడానికి మనం యూజ్ చేస్తాం. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ టు ద గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ స్కూల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్, సమగ్ర శిక్ష, ఎస్సీఆర్టీ, యూనిసెఫ్ మరియు విజ్ఞాన్ ఆశ్రమ్ టు గివింగ్ దిస్ వాల్యుబుల్ ఆపర్చునిటీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఆల్.
Sir, from our side.